You'll have 200 points. So in today's video we pretend to be in Faze for one video while we play Fortnite, so yeah, let's do it. But first let me solve the white side, it's cute. I don't feel safe for it.
At Stitch Fix, we do this. So you can do this. We search while you swing. We measure while you make. We find fabrics while you find friends. We pick items you'll love while you do you. Our experts get to know you so they can send clothes that fit your shape and your life. Get started today.
We see a vast desert of sand with rolling dunes and distant hazy mountains. On a dusty road, a black car travels at speed. A small figure, a man, walks to the top of a large tomb. He waits and watches the car. He turns his head. Behind him, a van of armored vehicles waits to scurry trap. The car approaches unaware.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Spectrum, we think nothing beats movie night.
The man gives the signal to attack.
So the Spectrum Access app gives the visually impaired audio description right from the phone.
The chase begins.
So nobody misses a thing.
They weren't ready to be married at first sight.
They don't need a home meal.
But are they ready for love?
I'll go spend 15 years.
I don't really know how to kiss
Now
now.
the experts face their greatest challenge yet. Unusual makeovers.
Your lips are touching this.
Unbelievable transformations.
Get back to that confidence.
Will they meet their match?
I'm really excited about experiencing love.
Your Fortnite Unmatchables. A new Lifetime original series premieres tomorrow at 10. Only on Lifetime.
Two notes in the murder book. Judge Ryan spoke up for her nephew in court. She pleaded for every consideration, but still going to be manslaughter.
Let's go to the murder. I'd be pretty sure that Sean never went back fronts intending to kill anyone. One good thing. Those 6 punch guns I found on his wheels, the attack on his home.
Friend Walter Redden blew up a car. Once we find him, he and Jenny both go away forever. Judge Ryan, that was something I
don't think she'll see it like that. There's no good way to bury a child.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord God, love us.
I appreciate it very much. Being able to lay my gun in a place like this. But I just feel it's unfair. Can we agree? Not to me, but my mother, she's 18.
You want to pull all of those 17%?
No, I don't. But I just want us. We made a deal. We've kept our end.
Our honor has been properly laid to rest. And you don't owe us all that.
You know, if you get anything to hear those words, your loved one, it's all right. As long as we got that thing.
We just fell in love with this family. Is everything what the state wants? Or all of you want?
I was taken to a party on it with one because she loved the woman so much. That woman has a chance now in a normal life.
Gustavo, I know it seems unfair, but sometimes older brothers, have to make sacrifices for their younger siblings.
How are you feeling?
Well, I did everything I set out to do, but I didn't find out his real name. Thanks to you, she's had a proper burial.
Thanks to us. The gift.
I can't tell Mariana that I found a clue. Or that clue was alright. That Gus is here with her. I can't even tell Alice. Because I'll always think of her as Alice. You know, I can't even tell Alice how much she meant to me.
But you can tell other people. Someday you can stand here with her. And you can share the whole story with her.
Yeah, I just wish I would have been able to help her. I wish I could have helped her.
powerful bodies control, and the rest is just the hospital staff responding to the area. Is there any magic you can do in this video so we can see the woman's face? Sorry, don't talk about our words. Definitely clear and quiet. What about the victim of control away from bodies that but these are preparing to play? I'll have patrol start pulling video from all the security cameras. 5 lotteries, and make it 10. Mr. West, I need you to copy all this video onto a couple flash drives, please. So, folks, the woman who dropped off our victims, Madam X, is going to be impossible to identify. I say.
Yeah, that's how the ambulance drivers described her too.
Yeah, well, have we ID'd everyone?
Saved my life. Thanks.
Suspect was far away. Shot twice on the left side of the torso, probably 45. The others. The escalator which the bodies were dropped off. Yes, sir. Address is listed. One of the houses.
Alright, Google him. He's an in-house litigator for it down at the importer.
Not anymore. Scuffs on his heels. Dragged me. Julio? You okay? Yes, sir. I'm fine. Alright, who's next?
Okay, we have Bronwyn Hicks. Shot twice on the right torso. Her address is Palo Alto. Got these keys to a Tesla, so maybe she has a place here too. Her employee ID badge says that she's the chief financial officer for UV Solar.
UV Solar, huge power company, split public.
I'm sensing a trend.
And as you can tell, he's got $500 in cash, bullet wounds in the neck and shoulder, a business card saying he owns top secret records, a key to a Porsche, and a napkin from Stella's nightclub, and a phone number on someone named Randy with 2 E's.
Alright, what about victim number 4 who had surgery?
Oh, no, sorry, sir. The fourth victim is Howard Prager, venture capitalist, 53 Homelanders. Yes, sir.
The rich part.
Cardinal Nate, sir.
Of the very rich part. Alright, what is Mr. Prager's condition?
He was shot twice in the chest. Those are his injuries there, sir.
Doctor says touch and go. He's in surgery, so we can't ask who shot him, and the hospital has his phone and wallet somewhere, but in the general chaos, they can't seem to find him.
Well, we need to find where all these rich people were when they got shot and why they were all together. I mean, this is like the beginning of a James Bond movie.
Girl, we have 2 sets of keys to 2 very nice missing cars, so maybe they're parked at the original crime scene.
It's got to be near this hospital, so I'll get some patrol officers and we'll start a grid search.
Okay, what floor is Prager on?
Probably in an operating supervision. Probably the operating nurse right over there. And if he survives, I'll have to get ICU on the 4th floor. And honestly, I'll speak very well. I'll stay with Mr. Prager if he regains consciousness.
You sure?
Yes.
So, tell me this. How do 4 1%ers end up shot to pieces and stuck to the back of an SUV?
Sounds like they're set up to a really bad joke.
Yeah, well, I need a punchline to go with it. Maybe make arrangements and then escort our victims to the morgue, please. Mike, let's start dumping phones, and if you would, stay close in case men need some help. Yes, Captain, sorry to wake you, but I'm afraid your morning is going to be a little more hectic than usual.
I still got lots of work to do, obviously, and I haven't recovered the slugs yet, but the wounds look consistent with a 45.
And they were shot at what range?
They're still stippling, so it wasn't point blank, but not too far away either. Now, for something odd. I can't know about the guy in the hospital because I haven't looked at his body, but check this out. The vertical angles on the wounds for each of these victims show a downward trajectory.
So the killer was standing.
And these people were all seated, and the hips have been moved.
Good morning, Chief. Something we can do for you?
I hope so. Does our victims read like a force? They found the car at scene.
But once you know,
found two of the victims' cars near Beverly and Crescent Heights.
Beverly and Crescent Heights is near the hospital where bodies were dumped.
Okay, I'll get some extra patrol officers down there to help.
Tell them to look for a newish oriental rug. I've now found woven wool fibers from the same magic carpet on each of your victims.
Here's the magic carpet store. What are you looking at? Those look like drag marks and exigent circumstances. Maybe there's an easier way to get in up front. Find evidence to justify breaking through that glass door.
Yeah.
Since we had to clear out for DNA collection, I've done my best to recreate the crime scene.
So we've been able to locate the owner of the rug shop.
We got a text from the FBI saying Abel Morani used his passport to enter Morocco in the middle of last month.
Times when our neighboring business owners said about the shop being closed for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mr. Nemo is in Morocco.
Mr. family, and the feds don't have a file on it. Terror-wise.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
Here we go.
So these post-its represent bullet strikes?
In the rug shop, and our victims, yes. And these shapes on the ground represent pools of blood found underneath the rug that someone tried to wipe clean but showed up with aluminum. Now, make this fun.
Too late.
Amy, can you pretend to be the shooter?
Don't these wall stripes indicate that the shooter, he or she, probably fired from one spot?
Killer was standing about here.
Okay, so if you are in the right place, you need line of sight. So the victims could have been more like this.
That's it, Captain.
So, our shooter entered facing Howard Prager.
This was the most direct.
Then our murderer sprays the other victims and the rug shop too. Looks like he or she wasn't much of a weapons expert.
Mike, is all this evidence from the room at the back of the rug shop?
Yes, I don't know that piece of cell fixture, man. No fingerprints. Why?
Well, if you've been married to a gambling addict most of your life, you would know that this little piece of cellophane is the wrapper to a fresh deck of cards.
Our victims were playing poker.
And apparently very high stakes.
Ritz Cheese Crispers. With the crispiness of Ritz meets the bold taste of cheese.
I need a bite.
Try cheesy, crispy Ritz Cheese Crispers. Only from Ritz.
Can't believe that Daniel really got me on my insurance. Daniel, State Farm offers surprisingly great rates to everyone. Sure do.
You wanna meet the queen?
I'm not dressed for that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Course there? That's Kim. When I'm shaving down there, not just any razor will do. New Venus for pubic hair and skin, with a patented irritation defense bar. For a smooth shave with blades that barely touch skin.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein, with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients to support immune health.
Hey, where's your now? I see how dry screen delivers. And it's working instantly, providing powerful relief to muscles and joints. Icy Hot.
And Icy Hot now has a bold new look with the same powerful relief to help you rise from pain.
At Domino's, we're more than just classic hand-tossed pizza for $7.99. We're hearty handmade pan-fried
gently warming your feet. And it helps keep you asleep by sensing your movement and automatically adjust to keep you both effortlessly comfortable. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Only from Sleep Number.
Selling on Poshmark is quick and easy. Have items that only you just don't need anymore, but can also sale in no time. It's simple. Take a photo, set your price, and make money. Anyone can do it. And who doesn't love a little extra cash in their pocket? Buy and sell from home with the Poshmark app.
The Zeus never toured with Redfin. Until now. Take your time and your local Redfin agent will help you find someone. On-demand home tours from Redfin.
My name is Charmaine, and I just discovered Career Protein. I'm a very happy family. I drink the chocolate one. I like the chocolate one. It actually tastes really good. With 30 grams of protein, 160 calories, and just 1 gram of sugar, Career Protein, too good to beat.
Do you know what's bananas?
Dad.
Food Land's double money back guarantee. If anything isn't 100% fresh, they'll give you double your money back. It's crazy, right? But everyone here is as cool as a cucumber. Tell them why, sweetie.
Because when your food's always fresh, there's nothing at stake.
I thought of that.
At Food Lion, we're passionate about fresh, which is why we guarantee it. Because this is our home, and that's our Food Lion. Hammer's gigantic truckload sale continues. Microfiber sheet sets, $10.49. Dash mini digital electrics, $8.99. Ladies love America's handles, $10. Ladies branded sleepwear, $18. Regular men or Van Hogen polos, $7.98. Deluxe pet beds, only $15. And spring flags, $5 party, $10 home. Hammer's gigantic truckload sale continues. Who's it gonna be?
I have no idea.
We introduce myself, the big question.
Me too.
Which couple or couples will stay married and join us?
Who is gonna be the newest couple candle?
Or couples?
Who will it be? Find out when the Lifetime original series Married at First Sight couples get returns Wednesday, June 2nd.
No. Only on Lifetime.
We're ready to be married at first sight.
I'm ghosting the tears, but are they ready for love?
I don't really know how to kiss. Unusual makeovers.
Your lips are touching this one.
Unbelievable transformations. Married at First Sight is unmatchable. The new Lifetime original series premieres tomorrow at 10. Only on Lifetime.
Oh, Your Honor.
Judge Grove?
Oh, Mr. Benson.
I only need a moment of your time, so I don't cause you any problems.
Okay, I got 2 minutes.
Okay, you remember last summer I created this blog called Identity?
Yeah.
And for my new story,
Hey, no, number 38 turned out to be...
Mariana Walker.
Did you just say news story? How does that involve me? I don't like it already.
I thought very hard about it, Your Honor, and I'd like the next season of Identity to be about Greg Slider Raznik, the suspect accused of murdering Mariana, and who's to be a defendant in your court next
Would this be any
Do
good?
you have any idea how complicated it is?
Would you want to put the clothes on top of the dryer?
Let me ask you this question. LA's a big place.
Okay.
Is there no other judge you can be bothering right now?
Probably, yes, but I am down to a minute. I'd like to explain to you why it's not
You got way ahead of yourself. This request needs to be clear with the investigators, DEA, Hobbs, and the defendant's attorney before it comes to me.
Okay, and if they say yes, you approve it.
I have no idea. I don't have to think about it until the attorney signs off.
What's the password for that?
Yes, and it said that his phone was at this hospital. What happened?
Did you know where your father was going last night?
No, he didn't say. What happened? How is he? Is he okay?
Oh, I'm sorry to inform you, but your father was shot and he remains in critical condition.
He was shot. He was shot. That was shot. Are you sure?
I'm afraid so.
Bro, come on. This game is so stupid.
Dan. Dan, I have his contact information here. Dan always tries to...
I don't care. I'm focusing on getting back to my base. Screw this.
It's in there somewhere.
Yes.
But I am, okay, and how much is it?
Someone give our driver a pin.
You guys can't pull an innocent man out of his own car just leave him parked on the street. Well, in the first place, Mr. Willis, it isn't your car. It happens to belong to the limo company for which you work.
That's the car you were driving last night, which you did not return to the garage.
Which I've already explained to my boss.
Okay, so
BMW's carpets got a little messed up. I took him to my son's detail shop to have it cleaned. At my own expense.
What's your son shop?
Pico and LaBrea. Super detailing. Now listen, I don't shoot people.
yeah, do all that. I'm glad you, I only called me.
Mr. Willis doesn't know I'm on this contract with supplies at the hospital, but
Okay, thank you.
older gamer victim of
Okay,
playing
so
last night.
now
The 20,000 is envelope is supposedly a tip she gave for helping her after the shooting.
And for not calling us, I'm sure.
After getting all the wounded to the ER, Willis took Madam X back to the rug shop, waited for her while she cleaned up, then drove her in a big plastic trash bag
Which we found.
to a nearby dumpster before dropping her in the HG class SUV. Oh, and one other thing. Each of our poker players put $100,000 in the pot. Cash. Winner take all. So that's our motive. Someone run the game of $500,000.
So then why shoot the players? They didn't struggle. They didn't even have time to get out of their seats. And they couldn't report the theft to us because, well, the game was illegal.
So why not just take the money and run? Unless the killer was someone the players knew.
Okay, two things. Drop Dad's prints from the takeout containers.
Doesn't mean he was in the room when shots were fired. What's the second thing?
We got to the BMW before it was cleaned and there's blood on the front seats. Also, the boy came back with us and he wants to see his dad.
Well, tell him he can wait for the arraignment.
Wait, hold on. Let's show our daughter a little kindness.
Hello?
Your beat, okay.
Hello? Hello?
Noah, you have no business here. Dad, what did you do? Nothing. Howard and some of the other people in his poker game got robbed and shot up. I had nothing to do with it.
Some of the other players.
Springer was shot. And 3 other people. The woman who organized the game and I took her to the hospital. What? Dad, why didn't you call 911?
Good question.
Some of the other players. So that means there were more than 4. Maybe one of the extra dinner suites was Dan, and the other one was from Madam X.
So that means it's one
No,
unaccounted for.
forget about that. You need to ask the police for the key to the town car that they made me park on Sunset and Sweetser. Take it to the garage. If I'm still here tonight, bring more insulin, okay?
Hey.
Sometimes you what? Did you write a time?
Well,
Okay,
say
enough
hello.
of this, Lieutenant Amy.
Hello, hello.
Oh, and Amy, tell Leo to keep Anna Prager with him. If she was able to use her cell to find her father last night at the hospital, she could also have stopped at a rep store.
Because I couldn't do a thing.
For a second,
I
you
could
all
not
walked
do
into
it.
the police station, ran your oxygen.
Yes, it does.
I told you what I need.
But I'm
You
doing
got a
what
car
you
to
did.
bring me some insulin.
Excuse us, Noah. You can grab your
I
father's
ain't
keys on the way
cleaning.
out.
No. I'm washing. I'm washing.
All right, before we start, let's get something straight. Claiming to report a crime is not illegal. Taking wounded people to the hospital, not illegal. Well, before we discuss the end, let's go back to the beginning. When did you first learn that you were picking up Prager from the poker game
I
last night?
motivated myself to do my own.
So I know about the cards.
Okay. Well, you didn't hear that from me.
I said I motivated myself to
About
do
6
my
o'clock,
own.
he told me to pick him up at his house.
While I'm making
He can do that because he pays me extra to be on call. So I took him, dropped him off where he told me to, like I always do with these underground poker games he plays in. I parked my car a couple blocks away, canceled dinner with my son and my ex-wife. I called dispatch, told them to handle that midnight run
Yeah,
out to
but
the
I got
airport, and then I
So at some point you went to pick up a to-go order?
some of them.
Yeah.
Those
for everyone, including myself. I went to Raleigh's Prime Rib and did that. When I
Raleigh's Prime Rib, 7 steak dinners to go. Yeah, 11 p.m. That should be memorable.
So,
You're seeing the phone all the time.
well, it was in my name, but the lady put it on her credit card. She asked me for a receipt later.
I mean, in the middle of picking up the bodies and putting them in the S-Lance, someone asked you for a receipt?
Yeah, that's what I mean. There were 7 dinners, 1 for you, 1 each for the 4 people that you dumped at the ER, and 1 for the lady running the game, and 1 for another player.
Put your steak in there and chop
There were 5 clears.
That's what I was told when I left to get the food. When I came back inside the road shop, there were only 3.
I just
Look, here's the question you should be asking. What guys you $500,000 in cash shoot for people dumping the ER while they're still alive? Doesn't make any sense. Look, now I'm on lots of these games. He had $500,000 in my car several times. If I wanted to set him up, there are a lot easier ways to do it, believe me.
According to the credit card receipts from Molly's Prime Rib, X's name is Molly Pace. Former arrest by vice, 2-3-30, second time fined $500. No violent offenses.
But if she just been robbed, where did she get that $20,000?
No, Mercedes G-Class registered in the name of
Okay,
Molly Pace.
okay, yeah.
It's one other person who might
Yeah.
I know Molly. She does some investing with my dad. If you let me tell people where he is, I can put you in touch with her. Now there may be no time. I just got an alert from my dad's preferred skies app. She set it up for me so I know if you have suddenly fly off somewhere.
But your father still intends to care.
But Molly shares his account. Looks like she's going to Mexico City. I'll be in catch up with Washington.
So I make him a smaller, then, make another size. I do, I use pickles, that's cowboy potato salad. I got some real, I do real potato salad. Yeah, gotta have that flavor.
Stop. LAPD.
Well, then you need to call the dog pound on him, or tell whoever told you that they need to chain him up or fix him or something. It's their dog. Yeah, it's their dog.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, come on. Come on.
You have one time to chase me.
Don't tell Sharon. Don't tell Sharon, Mom.
Reach out and touch it. Yeah. Get it upside the fucking shit. Lay his hand aside.
You need to stay away from her.
To be together. Just with the doctor murder and premiere Sunday a day. It's on Lifetime.
Oh, just watching.
Jake from State Farm.
But I'm getting all the
Down saved me so much on my insurance.
yeah, because I got to call T. I got to call T. This man coming by the car. I got to call T.
Like a good neighbor. Stay
All
always
right.
there.
Bye. I do too. Bye.
Here in California, we believe in what if. After all, if is our middle name. Like, what if we could go surfing and skiing in the same day? Boom! What if we could make it to the top of it? Or to the bottom of this? Or if I put this in my mouth? What if they had things in the mouth? Or this? Here we welcome all winners because we are. You're gonna have to live with. After all, there's only one wrong way to win. What if we do?
But they want to come on too. Yeah.
Eddie's, your backyard is right in our backyard. So go to the place that delivers on top brands like Ego, Toro, and Steel. We offer curbside pickup or get what you need delivered today. Ace is the place of the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, hello. Look at all of you. How fun. Tell me how much weight you lost with Nutrisystem. 40. 45. I lost 41 pounds.
55.
Mike, you beat me. I lost 50.
Order right now. Get 50% off a month of meals and 50% off a month of shakes.
Nutrisystem changed our lives, and it can change yours too.
Go online or call 877-783-FIT4 to save 50% on a month of meals and 50% on a month of shakes.
Bottom line is, the non-stop Atlanta Frost Premium Sliced Meats have no byproducts.
Join the call.
Hey, Louie here.
I thought this was about byproducts.
Atlanta Frost Premium. Fresh look, same great taste.
Did you know that rain protects every corner when you're away? Keep an eye on home, no matter where you're headed.
Anything going on at the house, honey?
Smart security, made simple. Learn more at ring.com.
Protect your pet this flea and tick season with Chewy. Find everything from flea collars and sprays to prescriptions that keep pests away. Chewy has what you need to keep tails wagging and pets itch-free all season long. Shop pet prescriptions and more at Chewy.com today. Time to have everything you love. Time to have Hulu.
Everything I love, my last sports and family guys.
Everything I love, including me.
Every drama that I love is on Hulu. This is more than a mirror. This is a portal to your future.
Bring it. Come on.
Introducing the all-new Vault from the Red Track. Full body strength. The Vault is a personal shopper in your home. That's not right. Is it the complete how you feel inside? Now that's your demand. That's trainers need more resistance. Exact work that you want. More strength. You want it. Open something extraordinary. Get yours only at portingtrack.com.
At Stitch Fix, we pick items you'll love, so you can do you. Our experts get to know you so they can set clothes that fit your shape and your life. Get started today.
I don't remember what kind of car.
Do you push through
I
migraine?
saw it on Facebook.
Are you okay with migraine? Absolutely. Imagine if you could prevent a migraine day before it happens. Take Emgality once a month to help prevent migraine days. It cuts the number of monthly migraine days by 50% or more for some people. Don't use it allergic to Emgality. Allergic reactions such as itching, rash, hives, and trouble
Yeah,
breathing
when I'm
2
ready.
days after using. Common side effects include injection site reactions.
Yeah.
Ask your doctor about Emgality today.
He sent me his address.
I love this graphics map. Look at that. I open the app, find the store that I want to use, start buying, and get me fast cash back. I just drop the to shop.
My favorite thing about Ring Fit is just get money back in the mail.
I mean, who wouldn't want cash back? Sign up today and get cash back with Racket.
When eye allergens attack, the itch can last 24 hours. But with Pataday Once Daily Relief Extra Strength, you get fast 24-hour relief in one drop. Make it a Pataday.
Now we
With
got,
that's
you
right
know,
for you.
like
Now
you
there's
said,
a prescription
you got it
everywhere.
in your mind.
If you want to be a winner, then get a turkey foot long from somebody. That's not the first to church. I'm Chris Betty from Freshly Baked Bread. So let's get out there and get those footlongs. Now at Subway, buy one for all you get. Get one 50% off. Subway, eat fresh.
But I got his number. You want me to take you his number?
Is that what you talked to Judge Grove about? Yeah, just to see if he would consider it, which he might. If I could get permission from the investigators,
What time
the DA,
tomorrow?
and the defense.
You don't want to ask Slider anything about Mariana's murder.
No, only about his life
Okay.
before.
But you just got stabbed. On Santa Monica City College.
So far, the only thing Santa Monica City College papers assigned me is a story about the rise of digital textbooks. I'm not really passionate about that.
Okay. We have a suspect in a quadruple murder, so Andrea's on her way over. Talk to her, and I will agree to whatever she says.
Actually, I was hoping that maybe you could just speak with Andrea for me.
I'm not allowed to ask the DA if my son can interview a murder suspect, right?
Right. No rules.
That's right. Where's Andy?
Oh, you got a couple of scrapes from Madam X resisting arrest. He's okay. Nothing. Doctor's looking at him now.
Why did he call?
left his phone in the car. Do you think I could be here if Flynn were in trouble? Look, Andy's going to be just fine. So, why don't we concentrate on the suspect who hurt him?
Okay, well, maybe you can tell me how on earth Molly Pace expected to rob her own game and have no one recognize her. She could have tipped off the real killer. And Molly Pace probably knows who our missing player is.
How's not going to explain why she's boarding a plane to Mexico with $300,000 in her luggage after she had just been robbed?
Look, I'm the victim here. I was nearly killed. This is all a huge misunderstanding.
You're an illegal poker game where 4 people were shot. We have video of you leaving their bodies at a hospital, and we caught you trying to board a flight out of the country with $300,000 in cash.
According to this report, you resisted arrest. You assaulted a police officer.
We understand that. That's Flynn.
He'll live, but our head start with the media could be running out. We've talked Anna Prager into staying with us for a little while, but if her father dies...
I'm still trying to understand why you would use your car to drag one of my detectives across the parking lot. Why don't you humor us a little?
If you did not murder these people, maybe you can tell us who did.
I didn't see the killer. I was in the bathroom when the shooting started.
Wow, that's convenient. You call someone to rob the game and then...
Why would I want to rob the game while there were still 4 players at the table? Why not wait until there were only 2? The pot doesn't change.
How long in the bathroom?
About 10 minutes until Howard's driver came back with our dinners and started shouting.
And why did you call that?
Because I was running an illegal card game, and we were only a few blocks away from a hospital. I paid the driver to help me get everyone there as fast as possible.
Because Dan Willis says that $20,000 tip was to wait around while you got rid of the evidence.
Okay, well, I offered him $5,000. He jacked it up to 20. I wasn't in a position to negotiate.
Where did the $20,000
Turns out our poor, sick, diabetic driver is a bit of a ruthless negotiator.
To make change for the game.
Okay, all this that you're saying is true. Why were you trying to flee the country?
People were getting shot. Forgive my impulse. Oh my God, it wasn't me. Aside from the game, I did lots of business with Howard. He's worth more to me alive than he is dead.
Who wants to know about this little poker party of yours?
Just me, the players, and Howard's driver, Dan. Now, normally when I go to things together, Tom and Dan wouldn't be allowed, but Howard never got a license. He's a bit eccentric. But outgoing, loves people, treats everyone like a friend, and is incredibly lucky at cards.
Not last part. Where's the $500,000 left during the game?
Right on the table. The players like to see the pot.
Okay, let's talk about the other sort of stakes, the kind that Dan the driver picked up for dinner. One was for him, one was yours. One each for the 4 people that you took to the hospital. And the 7th stake went to...
Dan said there was a 5th player.
Oh. You haven't figured out who that was yet. Wow. Okay. If you want the name of the 5th player, then that would be the player who got knocked out of the game 15 minutes before the shooting and left angry. Isn't that worth something?
You had $300,000 in cash. Let's say that it's not from the game.
It's not. It's my savings from the last year and a half.
Which I'm sure has all been reported to the IRS.
Do you want us to call the feds and ask for your tax returns?
Raymond Vaughn. The 5th player is Raymond Vaughn. See,
What channel is it on now?
You don't have to do an internet search on that. Vaughn Auto Parking is the largest corporate donor to the Police Foundation. And Raymond Vaughn owns only a now.
He also has 2 registered firearms, 45 caliber, semi-automatic, a shooter, 1 patrol.
Okay, what channel?
This is Assistant Chief Russell Taylor calling for Raymond Vaughn.
Come with an attorney.
I'm a little frustrated reading Raymond.
President Biden, Vice President Harris about that George Floyd bill. Where does that stand and the prospects of
We're gonna do a different video, probably
Yeah, that's something
Friday,
that they have talked
of
a
me
lot
pretending to
about.
be in
You
Faze.
might remember about 10 months ago, in June of last year, there was an effort to move
we is
a piece of
gameplay.
legislation in his name through Congress. There was criticism in the Senate. They moved it through the House. There were other things in the Senate which Democrats did not like. Republicans argued the Democrats filibustered it. The Democrats said, well, they put together a bill that we couldn't pass, and it probably couldn't have passed. That Republican bill in the Senate couldn't have passed the House. There is pressure on now on the shoulders of congressional Democrats because they control the House, the Senate, and the White House, but they face the same problem, especially when it gets into the political realm, because they have to be able to overcome a filibuster. They have to get 60 votes. They do have control of the Senate, but guess what? You have to have at least 51 votes there just to pass the bill. Not everybody sees things together. They're down for the moment to 2 votes in the House of Representatives, so the turning radius is pretty tight to move that. However, you might also see some Republicans at some point say, can we work together on some of this, maybe seeing the outcome of those verdicts? We haven't heard a lot from Republicans responding to this. In fact, the very first person who did respond, though, who's on camera, was Tommy Tuberville, the Republican senator from Alabama, who said, well, this shows that the criminal justice system works. He said, they had a jury. He thought the jury was good, and he said, that's what they thought. That's the verdict. But again, that political pressure on Democrats, if they're not able to move that, now sure, they can weaponize this, boomerang this around on Republicans and say, oh, they stood in the way. This is why we have to get rid of the filibuster, because they need, obviously, 10 Republican votes to move that. Is there a middle ground? If they try to make that bill too liberal, that's a problem, but they have to do something to court those Republicans.
Well, yeah, and we mentioned earlier, Senator Tim Scott was leading the charge and was stopped by Democrats, so it's a little tougher to make that case. Chad, thank you. We're going to head back to the family who's speaking in Minneapolis live at that event. Let's listen in.
Reverend Sharp there. Yeah. He's been fighting a long time. Long time.
My other glasses so I can see.
Man, that's Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a lot of history here. History is here. This is monumental. Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, they lived to see this.
Faze up. Faze money, Faze money.
It just didn't happen when they did it. But it happened now. And they're here to see it. And be proud of it. And go back to when you did that prayer service. My family is a family that will not back down from prayer. And I believe because of prayer, we got the verdict we wanted.
Amen.
Amen. We got on our knees. Some of us stood up. But we asked the right person. We asked the right one. Yes. Come on, God. We said, God, we need justice.
Yeah.
We need it now. And he answered.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that my grandmother, my mother, my aunts, they got to see this history made. I'm grateful my brother's not here. I'm grateful and I'm proud of him. I will salute him at every day of my life. I will salute him. Because he showed me how to be strong. He showed me how to be respectful. He showed me how to speak my mind. I'm gonna miss him, but now I know he's in history. What a day to be a Floyd, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Terrence. Now we will hear from George's baby brother, Rodney Floyd.
First, I would like to thank all the advocates, the activists. I'd like to thank the people that stayed in these streets marching thankful for everybody that stayed out there making a statement with us and encouraging us on our dark days, dark nights. We had them. And you know, we got so many messages flooding in from social media sites, can't read them all, there's so many, but you know what? Thank everyone, each and every one. So many people at grocery stores who walk in, we hear from the elders, you know, I believe respecting the elders, give you guys all respect, men and women. And I hear them walk up in the grocery store, stop me, mask up face and a hat and a mask, and they stick hand right outside of your face. Let me talk to you, I know who you are. And we have they'll stop a whole great conversation telling me what they experienced as a child, what they saw, and what they need to change. And they say, we are here for you, and this is everywhere. I go, my brother goes, we all go. And thank you people for love in the streets. I'm thanking everyone because we couldn't have did this, and this is a victory for all of us. There's no color boundary on this. This is everyone who's been held down, pinned down, and we standing together in unity. And this right here, let's thank our team. This is attorney, Ben Crump, and Ben Minucci, witnesses, Donnie Williams. I'd like to thank the jury. I mean, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank you. And you know what, people, we not done yet. And my brother George, he's smiling. His beautiful daughter's here. Gianna, baby, you're so beautiful. You're so smart. Rod said, you have my heart, baby. Thank you for holding Gianna, keeping us strong. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. I'd like to thank everyone that helped out in this case. I'd like to thank this church for having a heart and thank y'all for coming. George, I know you did all that. Thank y'all. Yes, next we go. Have a man or him and George used to text each other all the time. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee always talk about cutie homes in Houston, Texas. Back there, right now, I think y'all know. We got here from Brandon Williams, who's like a son to George. Very emotional day for me. I already had a birth. I'm on the way up the truck. But I do want to start by saying thank you. First off, thank you to all you guys. Advocates, protesting in the middle of the pandemic, putting your lives and safety on the line. We appreciate that. Especially our legal team, Thomas, Judge, Chris, Judge Hill. Definitely thank you to keep us in this. All of the evidence, all of everything, exactly what we saw in the video. Again, we still equipped, we still in the jury, and I want to walk. Oftentimes, the city bills that mean that we're in there. But all evidence, everything pointing to a guilty verdict. We somehow still don't get the guilty verdict. Or in some cases, we don't have to put anyone arrested. We don't even get charges. So today is a pivotal moment for America. It's something this country has needed for a long time now. And hopefully today is the start of that. When I said a pivotal moment, we need change in the voting system. It was built to oppress us. It was built against us. Oftentimes, we see people who are supposed to protect and serve. Supposed to protect and serve. They do the total opposite.
on the first day of trial, Real Sharp when we had a press conference, and we kneeled for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And when I got up, and it was my turn to speak, I said that every time I come out here, it's hard. Because it's the exact place where they took somebody from me that I love. And I absolutely dislike coming here. But I also said, this time it was easy. We came for one thing and one thing only. That was justice for George Floyd. And today, that's what we got. So this time it wasn't hard at all. It wasn't hard at all. I'm big on faith and prayer. I had a lot of faith. But I was also optimistic. We need police reform bad.
Yeah.
These guys are able to wear a badge and go out in the field, which means that they're qualified and trained to do their job at a high level. But when you shoot and kill a man that's running away from you that doesn't pose a threat, either you're not qualified and undertrained, or it's a choice and you want to kill black men and women. It's either one or the other. And I think today, Keith Ellison and his team proved that just because you are a law, you're not above the law.
Yeah.
We need each and every officer to be held accountable. And until then, it's still scary to be a black man or woman in America and county police.
Yeah.
So when I say today is a pivotal moment, it's a chance for America to take a turn in the right direction and right a lot of wrongs so that we don't keep adding to these names. So that little girls and boys like Gianna are not growing up fatherless. So that families don't feel the pain we feel. It's a lot of sweet advice. No family should go through that. And hopefully our country take a turn in the right direction today. And this day in history proves that it was a turning point. Thank you.
We're going to hear from just a few more family members, and then we'll try to get to your questions. But I'll be remiss because Brandon said I got to acknowledge his man Cliff for working for us. and he talked about Kenny Walker. Chris, if we talk about all the brothers, we can never forget that they're killing black women as well. And so we got to remember Breonna Taylor. We got to remember Alexander Jefferson. We got to remember Sandy Bland. And we know Tamika and Mallory out May 13th. Pam Turner in a couple of weeks. We're having a march for black women in Baytown, Texas. Because if you was outraged when you saw the video George Floyd got killed by the police, then you should be equally outraged when you see the video of how they killed Pam Turner, an unarmed black woman laying down on her back that he shot in the face, in the chest, and in the stomach. Justice for George Floyd.
Bro, you lucky little kid. Bro, you're like that little kid sitting there camping in the bush trying to shoot somebody, bro. That's why you're about to die, you sorry kid. You a scrub, bro. Your parents some scrubs too, bro. Bro, Ray's gonna be a good kid. He like, I ain't gonna listen to y'all. Y'all ain't my mama. Y'all ain't my daddy. Blow that man's face off.
Guilty on all counts against Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer. That conviction coming down by the jury today. Earlier today, right after that verdict came down from the jury, President Biden called the family, called Ben Crump, and they put it on the cell phone in front of reporters. We had a piece of that right now.
Nothing. I make it call better. This guy now is justice.
Yeah, where did Laura Croft go?
Change the world, start to change it now. One of the brothers of George Floyd said Emmett Till was the first George Floyd, but this time there were cameras that
That's why it's
for the entire world.
We are going to hear from President Biden and Vice President Harris at the White House. Let's check in with Kristen Fisher on the North Lawn. We understand, Kristen, we haven't been given a specific time, but perhaps after this press conference wraps up, that's when they'll go.
That's right. The TV pool is actually holding inside the White House right now, and the thinking is that as soon as George Floyd's family wraps up their press conference, that President Biden and the Vice President Kamala Harris will likely begin speaking. But boy, we sure got a preview of what we will likely expect to hear them say with that phone call that the Floyd family attorney just posted to Twitter. And you heard President Biden saying nothing is going to make it all better, but at least now there is some justice. And you know, it didn't even really take that phone call to know what President Biden was truly thinking, because he said what he thought the verdict should be hours before the jury had even announced that a verdict had indeed been reached. Earlier today, inside the Oval Office, hours before this decision came down, President Biden said, and I quote, "I'm praying the verdict is the right verdict, which is overwhelming in my view." And he went on to say that I wouldn't say that unless the jury was sequestered now. You know, President Biden took quite a bit of heat from that, and so did the White House press secretary in the briefing room a little bit later for saying
I would like to take the L just to talk to this
President Biden weigh in on an ongoing criminal trial in which the jury still had not yet reached a decision. The White House press secretary really pushed back and said she would not characterize it as that, but it really was quite stunning, especially given the fact that Jen Psaki just one day earlier had said that President Biden did not want to get ahead of the decision. But now that the decision has been reached, as you said, Brett, we are now waiting for President Biden and Kamala Harris, the Vice President, to speak inside the White House. And one of the other things that they are almost certainly going to point to is what they are trying to get through Congress right now, and it is the George Floyd and Policing Act. Obviously, they want to pay honor to George Floyd's memory and legacy by putting his name attached to this bill. And one of the many things that this bill would do is it would ban chokeholds. It would also ban no-knock warrants and create a kind of nationwide standard for policing. So it has passed the House. It's kind of stalled in the Senate. But that is something that President Biden and the Vice President are likely going to point to when they say, as you just heard, what they told George Floyd's family, we are trying to fight for some change, and that is the change that they are likely going to be pointing to when the President speaks any minute now, Brett.
Okay, Kristen Fisher on the North Lawn. Kristen, thank you again for bringing President Biden's speech to you live here on Fox News Channel as we continue to watch the situation on the ground in Minneapolis. The panel is still with us. Harold Ford Jr., Byron York, and Trey Gowdy. Trey, we listened to Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and family members, and you can see the pain that they've been through. Obviously, that video told the story in and of itself.
Just call right now. Private health care is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with no deductible. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
You're not picking me up tomorrow. No. Grandma, do you work tomorrow? Yeah, no.
I got something to do in the morning, though.
Who's gonna pick me up? Who's gonna pick me up?
Picking you up. From school, stars,
Yeah, love you too. She's gonna get the vaccine. She's gonna get the vaccine shot.
I wouldn't. She wants you to go with her.
She's gonna try to come get me from school. Hello? Okay. Bye, love you.
We agreed that you would only be the boss of work, and that everything else would be a discussion. Okay. Well, at least tell me what happened. I may expunge any and every word of any and every interview I don't like, without exception or explanation.
But Your Honor, that's censorship.
Oh, really? You understand the concept? Agreed.
What's your third condition?
That you follow the directions in here and apply for a transfer to UCLA effective this January.
Oh. Your Honor, it's too late for me to start UCLA.
It's a formality, Mr. Beck. It's all arranged. My wife watched every second of your vlog right away. It's one of the college professors in UCLA's communications department. And according to her, you should be reporting on more interesting subjects than digital textbooks. I ask the questions here, Mr. Beck, not you. Fill out the form. Major in communications. And think about going to law school, because if you're going to argue about everything, you might as well make a living at it.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I don't know what to say.
Thank you. It is sufficient. This is a great opportunity.
I won't, Your Honor, I promise. And thank you for...
You're welcome. And close the door behind you.
To conclude my opening statement, let me read to you from the signed confession presented Dave on the night of the murder 10 months ago. He says, it was our third anniversary. We were going to dinner. Lisa had dropped off the baby with her mom. I started celebrating early and got drunk. Lisa argued with me. I don't understand why. But I tell you,
What? Oh god, my gun didn't reload.
I pushed her. And she fell over the second
I do got a third party. I hate this game.
on the time below. I know I should have called 911 right away, but for some reason I'll never
You're so
understand.
bad. You're so freaking bad.
I don't remember which one.
Like, you suck.
I didn't notice Lisa on
I'm
the
gonna
floor
watch you die
when
too.
I came home. And I
I'm
passed out
gonna
on
watch
the
you
sofa.
die too
The
and
defendant
enjoy
has
it.
since withdrawn his first confession, replacing it with a statement.
Dude's probably just gonna run his entire
He can't
game from
recall
people.
what happened the night his wife was murdered. It's all slipped his mind. It will be my job to remind him.
Mr. Rader, your opening argument for the defense. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the murder of Lisa Slaw was and the night that she died, well, my client suffer. He failed to exhibit maturity or often associated with the word husband, father. And after a drunken blackout, he even let the police
I'm gonna watch you
his
die.
memory blanks for him.
Bro, it's because I didn't know my gun had to reload, bro. If I'd have swapped, I'd have killed him.
Investigation on Mr. Song. He certainly is no superhero. Which means, in addition to
Bro, learn how to aim.
his wife and daughter,
Bro, you're just wasting ammo on that thing.
nor could he exceed the limits of his
Imagine that thing was glitched and you died. I'd laugh so hard. Boom.
The defense intends to introduce scientifically irrefutable evidence that Mr. Song did not murder his wife. So,
Woof,
we won't
boof,
ask for
dead.
we won't ask for forgiveness, but simply
Dude, you have no health items, so if somebody storm traps you, you're done.
thank you.
That's why I asked you down here. Right before court this morning, Jack tells the judge that he just spoke about evidence exonerating his client, so it was too late to be included in discovery. So I said, I'll do it. Well, Mr. Salford has confession in his hand. Yes, and the issue of the test was covered in his wife's blood. It's a no-brainer. My own defense argument was if they want intent, Jack
It'll be done in a little bit. Or you can eat them chicken tenders. I'm doing the potatoes and the carrots and the chicken.
Can't touch this bean, I need the bean. Can't touch this bean, can't touch this. So many stream snipers right now. Holy. Guys, if you stream snipe, I can't give you special treatment or else. Can't touch this. So many stream snipers right now. Holy. Guys, if you stream snipe, I can't give you special treatment or else I'm gonna get banned, alright? Heads up. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. So many stream snipers. Can't touch this. So many stream snipers right now. Holy. Guys, if you stream snipe, I can't give you special treatment or else I'm gonna get banned, alright? Can't touch this. So many stream snipers right now. Holy. Guys, if you stream snipe, I can't give you special treatment or else I'm gonna get banned, alright? Heads up.
His anniversary in style. You missed the mark again. Sykes, please grab this dummy. I'll kill it myself and you. You stay right here and, take deep breaths. So this suitcase was right here the night of the murder. Yes, sir. This is right. It looks like the victim was naked in the passenger, sir. Partial uniform, minor blouse, unidentifiable. She fell backwards, hit the rail, flipped over it, and landed face down. Mike. I think that as they were arguing, Ken pushed Lisa. She had the suitcase in the hand. Oh, set him up the wall, and then take my stuff.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Rosby.
You hit the mark exactly. Laws of physics, my ass.
If you really love your cat, then treat them the best. Delectable squeeze ups.
I wanted to get that evidence over to you as quickly as possible. Yes, but it came through that Ken saw his killer.
Can't touch this.
This is fine.
So many stream snipers right now.
Just one more.
Guys, if you stream snipe, I can't give you special treatment or else I'm gonna get banned, alright? Heads up.
Yes, I've been studying beautiful fronts. Everybody here now. Let this young lady go. That's for another day. Anyway, I will wait you to come to terms with Lieutenant. I know. Au revoir. That jerk.
Is this Ken's song?
It is. Timestamp 7:47 p.m., January 22nd.
So who its date and time?
Before Lisa was attacked, Ken saw him drunk somewhere else, where the car was arrested. But no blood on him.
The laws of physics.
I'm done.
Two places at once.
I'm gonna be in your peace out chat.